Hello, this is my Capstone project demonstration video, and here I'm going to just go over some of the basics functionalities that you can have on the front end section. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish all the implementation of the front end, nor was I able to deploy the project. I am so sorry about that. I tried to create a Git repository and push the final project onto multiple different web services, and initially they were working, but after after not attending to it for about a month, I realized that the services ended and the file was not able to push properly, and I was just being stuck with a local deployment only. So sorry about that, but here is the demonstration video of the front end. So basically what we have here is ArtSolid website where you can purchase and publish your own artwork. Here are the reviews, as you can see, and the name of this this product, this artwork, and the price. If you actually want to see the detailed view, you can actually click either this name or this picture, and it'll go to the detailed view, and it'll tell you if this artwork is still available or not, and the price. And this is a very brief description, but if you wanted to fill out a longer description, you could. You can also click this button, add to cart, and as you can see, I've already added multiple things into this cart. And right here, if you click one of these trash can buttons, it will actually delete one of these products if you wanted to do that. Let's delete this one because it's kind of messing up the subtotal because of its enormous price. This is just a sum of all the prices of these carts, and I'm getting this from a database called MongoDB, not a local database. If you wanted to go back to shopping, you can just simply click on the main logo and you can just continue to browse. You can see I have quite a bit of artworks posted here, and it goes from the photos to paintings, like drawings, into graphics, and these are categorized that way into three different categories. And if instead of actually clicking add to cart inside the description, you can click add to cart from here, and later you can click this cart items at the top, and you can see that there's 4 of them, and you can see that the number goes up, the number of item goes up as you click add to cart. And if you want to proceed to checkout, it will tell you to sign in before you can actually check out, and it's the same page if you click to sign in and register. And finally, we have the about page explaining what this website is supposed to do. So this is a demonstration for the back-end side of things and how things were supposed to work. Here you can see the Postman URL that you can use to send a request. Only thing that will be different is this deployment. Instead of localhost, there will be a deployed URL here. The first thing you'll want to do is log in, but let's just demonstrate what would happen if you wanted to request a user, let's say. It'll say no authorization for this action. That's because you don't have the right token. Once you actually click this login, you can see that the new token is created, and this is an admin token, so you can actually be able to view the users. So if you go to, let's say this is a GET request, and if you go to the barrier token, and if you add this token that was received by logging in as admin, now you can actually view all the users. And the same thing goes with a post request. If you wanted to post, let's say this new product, I'm going to call it a demo product. And let's just say that it's $20, and I'm gonna just say that it's a demo product for Capstone. And here you have to enter the ID of the category from MongoDB. I'm going to change the new demo art here, the art to demo art. You can select the rating, let's say 1. The first rating is going to be 1. And if you click send, it will say no authorization. If you go to the authentication barrier token and add that token that you got from logging in as admin, now you can actually publish the demo product. And let's say if you change this to a GET request, you can see that at the very end there's a new demo product that's been added. And interesting thing is, since GET requests, you should be able to view all the products even if you're not authenticated. You do not need this barrier token in order to get the products. And same thing goes with categories. And that's because I added an exception for those GET requests. Alright, so this is the final page where it brings everything together from the back-end side of things. For example, is locating where the routers are and actually launching it right here. All the routers that has the API that basically brings all the requests like post, put, delete. This is an authentication that I'm using to authenticate whether you're an admin or a user, or if you're not authenticated at all. This is the connect to the database, which is MongoDB that I'm connecting to, and all these environments that I'm using is actually stored in this environment folder. So all I have to do is change this environment and everything else will be changed automatically. I don't have to go individually into one of these let's say API and change the details of it. Now probably the most interesting part of these codes is the actual API construction. And here I've actually created many APIs that I wasn't able to implement on the front end. For example, if you can look up user by user ID, you can have a cart ID that basically stores what the user had in their cart. And same thing goes with categories. You can search by category ID. You have a post request. You can delete the category. You can update the category. And here you can see that this is a product page that has probably the most amount of code in it, where basically it has to upload an image. That's what this part is doing, uploading images and authenticating actually to see if it's a valid image type or not. That is an interesting part. And this is a users, and same thing goes here. It's a this is a login that basically posts the login information and verifies with the server that the user does exist and the password does match. And same goes with the register page, and this is a get count for the admin to see how many users are created. Now, one of the most interesting thing here is actually if you go to the helpers, there is the JWT. Now this is the page that authenticates and checks the token and see if the user has been authenticated or not, and if the user is actually an admin or not. And that's what this is doing. Is revoked method is basically checking if you're an admin or not, and if you are, then you're allowed to do everything in the server. You can update, you can delete and everything. But if you are a regular user, you're only allowed to upload. Here, this is an exception that I've created. Every user should be able to view the categories and products, so that's what this is doing, creating an exception. Hello, so here I just want to briefly show you the actual database setup. This is a MongoDB Atlas that uses a free cluster, and if you wanted to view your own database, you can just go to your project and go to the one that you want to access, and inside there you can see that there's project 0. That's the one that I'm using for my cluster and my database. And if you see this cluster, this is a free cluster that I'm using. You can click the browse collection, and here is my database, and you can see it's the carts. Here is categories, here's products, cart items, and users. In order for you to actually establish a database and start the project, you're going to have to go to the network access and add IP by address, and simply add your current address. And you can search your address by just typing my IP address on Google. And once you confirm, you can have an activated IP address. And that's how you basically start the database.